Now, Greek politicians have finally brokered a deal on new austerity measures to pull the country back from the financial brink.
The agreement is going before Eurozone finance ministers in Brussels, where they've just started talks. For the latest, Europe correspondent Lisa Miller joins us now from London. Good morning. These negotiations between the various parties, they've been going on for days now. What do we know about the deal that's been struck?
Well, to call them tortuous is probably putting it mildly, Karina. They went until 2 o'clock in the morning just overnight. They've been going for days, as you say. We do know that the minimum monthly wage will fall 22% to about $780 a month. Other massive cuts have finally been agreed to. What was a sticking point were the cuts to pensions in Greece. Some of those coalition leaders just did not want to see the massive cuts to pensions, but finally an agreement. A lot of people didn't think it was ever going to come. This is only the first step, though, because, as you say, the Eurozone finance ministers are now meeting to discuss this deal in Brussels.
And they've expressed some scepticism, haven't they?
Well, it was slightly worrying for the onlookers to this agreement that after so many days of waiting, that as these ministers went into this meeting in Brussels, at least one of them suggested that perhaps even now this agreement was not going to get it over the line. And of course, this is so critical because Greece would be the first EU country to default on its debt if it was unable to pay back this repayment that it needs to do by March the 20th. That day keeps creeping forward, which is why there's this enormous sense of urgency to try and get this deal finalised and to release this $170 billion worth of loans and help from the Troika, as they're called, the European Central Bank, the IMF and the EU. So what happens now? It goes to the Eurozone finance ministers. Hopefully they tick off on it for Greece's sake. Then it goes back to the Greek Parliament. But the fact that you've had that coalition of leaders agree on it, if it gets back to the Greek Parliament, it's likely to get through.
Lisa Miller in London, thank you very much.